Hey everyone, Rawdawg Rory here, rocking Geek Foo, and today I want to talk about keeping it simple and relaxed so we can keep having fun in our kitchens. I know a lot of problems people have with the raw food diet or when going into the raw food diet or even just making their own healthy meals. They find that it adds a lot of time to the time they need to spend in the kitchen. And when you have a whole bunch of other things that you need to get done in a day, that can be a little bit stressful. Throwing that in on top of it, these really creative, crazy, complex dishes are a lot of fun, but oftentimes they could be a little overwhelming. I'm a foodie at heart, and one of the things that kind of was a stumbling block for me when I first got into raw foods was that I was so passionate about creating these crazy, complicated meals that I would be spending all day in the kitchen. It's very easy to do that if your focus is on these kind of meals as your mainstay. So what I want to really get into today is how can we simplify what we're doing so that we can keep enjoying the whole process and we're not feeling like it's drudgery, because you don't want to do that. You want to be enjoying the whole process so that it is going to carry you through it. That whatever improvements you're trying to make in the things you eat, you want to enjoy all of it and not get stressed out by it, so we can keep rolling and rolling to wherever we're going. And so one of the best things I can recommend to do is, if you find yourself in that stressful situation where you're already into it, you're already making the meal, and you're like, ah, crap, I had to do all this stuff all day, I got laundry to do afterwards, and blah, blah, blah. It's just, if you're already making the meal, just stop, pause, breathe, and remember to be chill, just relax, and keep going, and just get it over with. But in the future, what we can do, if you're watching this when you happen to be preparing a meal, I guess, I guess that's what that scenario is all about. But in the future, like when we're going about keeping it simple, is look for foods like fresh fruits and veggies that we enjoy with little or no preparation. Things that can just be washed and eaten perfect. Apples, fruits, bananas, avocados, tomatoes, cucumbers. It's just so easy to just, wash a cucumber, cut it up, chop up a tomato, toss it with just some salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, something to give a little bit of tang, and you got yourself like a little salad, that's going to fill you up and keep you going. And it was just like no time to prepare that thing. So you want to find as many of like practically ready to eat foods as possible, and keep those on hand for when that situation comes up. And it really helps out if you've just got back from doing a bunch of stuff in your day, and instead of just rolling right into dinner while you're starving, you can just grab something quick and munch and then get on with what you're doing. And another thing we can do is find as many simple and easy to prepare recipes as we can, and make those the basis of what we're going to be eating. Like, make those your priority, because that way you always are ready with something quick, easy, and fun and enjoyable to concoct. And you're not thinking, oh crap, if I want a good dinner, I'm going to have to spend 10 years in the kitchen. We don't want to do that. We want to have simple things, so we're just ready to go. But make sure they taste good too. All about keeping it enjoyable and keeping it fun. And what I like to do when I do get into making those complicated raw gourmet meals, because I still like to do that from time to time for sure, is save them for a day where you don't really have a lot of other stuff going on. A day that you can just relax, really enjoy yourself, goof off in the kitchen, have a friend or family member, loved one hanging out with you, crank some music, put on those comedy albums, or listen to that educational stuff, and kind of multitask, relax, and really enjoy the whole process of creating your favorite raw gourmet or whatever kind of healthy gourmet dish you're preparing. Because that way, when it's done, you're not just like, I'm exhausted. You're like, I can really enjoy this. You enjoyed the whole process, you're definitely going to enjoy the finished product. It just makes it that much better. And another little thing I like to do is, if I'm making a complicated meal or like a dessert that's dehydrated or can be frozen, I like to go ahead and make double the recipe when I have a bunch of free time so that I can put some of that stuff aside, because dehydrated goods tend to keep pretty well, and frozen food, frozen treats like, raw ice creams, different raw desserts can be frozen, tend to keep for a bit in the freezer, so you're kind of stocked up and you've got a little stockpile going, and it's less times that you really have to get into the whole complexity of grinding and processing and dehydrating and waiting those long dehydration times. It saves you a lot of that. And I just want to encourage you all to keep it simple, keep it fun, and I want to know, how do you kind of streamline what you're doing in the kitchen to keep it smooth, keep it going smoothly, keep it fun, keep it rocking, keep it going? I want to hear about it. I want you to share your tips so that we can give others even more ideas so that they can use them and get going in the kitchen, and so you can hear others' ideas. Keep going with it. Peace.